Kyoto can overwhelm you fast. Crowds you didn't expect. Cash-only shops when your wallet's empty. Temples closing right when you arrive. But here's the thing. None of that has to happen to you. In the next few minutes, I'm giving you every essential tip you need for a flawless Kyoto trip. Things most guides won't tell you. Ready? Best time to visit Kyoto. Seasons, crowds, and what to expect. Kyoto doesn't have one best season. It has 4 different versions of magic, each with its own rhythm, its own color, its own soul. The question isn't when to go, it's what you want to feel. Spring, the once-in-a-lifetime moment. Late March through early April brings the cherry blossoms, sakura season. The city transforms into a living painting, temples framed by soft pink petals, pathways draped in bloom, and the air filled with something close to reverence. Temperatures hover between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The light is gentle, and for 1 or 2 fleeting weeks, Kyoto feels like nowhere else on Earth. But here's the reality. Everyone knows it. Hotels fill up months in advance, prices spike, and if you want that iconic shot at Kiyomizu-dera or along the philosopher's path without a sea of people, you'll need to be there by 5 or 6 a.m. It's crowded, it's expensive, and it's still absolutely worth it, especially if this is your first time. Fall, the favorite season. Ask seasoned travelers, and many will tell you, autumn is Kyoto at its finest. October through November paints the city in shades of crimson, amber, and gold. The momiji, Japanese maple leaves, turn entire hillsides into fire. Daigoji Temple, Tofuku-ji, the Sagano Scenic Railway winding through valleys ablaze with color. The weather is crisp and clear, between 50 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. The crowds, still present, but not quite as intense as spring. And many temples offer special evening illuminations, soft lights glowing against red leaves and ancient wood. Book early, but if you can only choose one season, this is it. Summer, for the brave and the curious. June through August is hot, humid, sometimes uncomfortably so, reaching up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit with sticky air that clings. But summer has its own pull. The Gion Matsuri festival in July fills the streets with processions, floats, and centuries-old tradition. The city feels alive in a different way, vibrant, social, buzzing with energy after dark. June brings rain, but it also brings lush green landscapes and far fewer tourists than spring or fall. If you can handle the heat and prioritize culture over comfort, summer rewards you with authenticity. Winter, the quiet reveal. December through February is Kyoto's secret season. Cold, yes, temperatures between 32 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Days are shorter, but the crowds disappear. Prices drop, and if you're lucky, snow dusts the temples, turning places like Kinkakuji into something out of a dream. This is Kyoto for photographers, for introverts, for anyone who wants the city to themselves. It's serene, meditative, and deeply, quietly beautiful. So, what's the real answer? If you want the most iconic experience, late March to early April, cherry blossoms. If you want the best overall balance, November, fall colors, clear skies, slightly fewer crowds. If you want budget and solitude, January or February, winter stillness. And if you want festivals and energy, July, Gion Matsuri and summer nights. Kyoto doesn't demand you come at the perfect time. It simply asks that you come ready to feel whatever season you find. How to get from the airport to Kyoto, fast, easy, and stress-free. Kyoto doesn't have its own airport, so if you're flying in, you'll land in Osaka, either at Kansai International Airport, known as KIX, or at Itami Airport for domestic flights. Getting to Kyoto is straightforward. You just need to pick the option that fits your style. From Kansai International Airport, your main gateway. Most international travelers arrive here, and the best way into Kyoto? The Haruka Express. This JR train runs directly from KIX to Kyoto Station in about 75 minutes. It's comfortable, luggage-friendly, and and costs around $25 to $30. If you have a JR pass, this ride is already covered. Prefer to skip the train? The airport limousine bus runs straight to Kyoto Station and major hotels. It takes 90 to 120 minutes, costs around $20 to $25, and is perfect if you've got heavy bags. Taxis exist too, but expect to pay $250 or more. Only worth it for groups. From Itami Airport, the domestic hub. If you're flying domestically, the airport limousine bus is your best friend. It takes about 55 minutes, costs around $15, and drops you right at Kyoto Station. Simple, direct, done. Now here's something most travelers overlook, but shouldn't. No matter how you get to Kyoto, your luggage is making the same journey, and sometimes it doesn't arrive when you do. That's where a luggage tracker becomes one of the smartest $30 you'll ever spend. Slip an AirTag or a tile tracker into your suitcase, and suddenly you're not wondering if your bag made it. You know, you can see it on your phone, in real time. It's peace of mind, it's control, and on a trip like this, it's worth it. Scan the QR codes on screen now. One for iPhone users with AirTags, one for Android users with alternatives like Tile or Samsung SmartTag. Get one before you fly. You'll thank yourself the second you land. You enjoyed this video so far? Give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the Traveler's Atlas for more city adventures, travel tips, and inspiration from around the world. Best areas to stay in Kyoto. Location, vibe, and what to expect. Where you stay in Kyoto shapes your entire experience. Choose wisely, and you're a 5-minute walk from sunrise at a temple. Choose poorly, and you're stuck on a crowded bus wondering why you didn't plan better. Here's what you need to know. Kyoto Station area. Best for first-timers. Direct access to buses, trains, and the Shinkansen. Hotels in every price range. Easy day trips to Osaka, Nara, or Hiroshima. It's practical, efficient, and takes the guesswork out of logistics. The downside? It feels modern, not historic. But if this is your first visit, start here. 𝐲𝐿, for atmosphere and tradition. Wooden tea houses, lantern-lit alleyways. The chance to spot a geisha slipping between doorways at dusk. 𝐲𝐿 is what you picture when you think of Kyoto. You're walking distance from Kiyomizu-dera and the Osaka Shrine, but it's pricier, and yes, it's touristy. If you want charm over convenience, this is your neighborhood. Downtown Kyoto, Kawaramachi and Shijo, for food and energy. This is where locals eat, shop, and hang out. Izakayas tucked down side streets. Late-night ramen. The Nishiki Market a short stroll away. It's lively, central, and perfect if you want to feel the pulse of the city. Just don't expect peace and quiet. Arashiyama, for nature lovers. Bamboo groves, river views, mountains in the background. Staying here means waking up to serenity instead of crowds. It's farther from the city center, but if you're craving space to breathe, it's worth it. Now, what kind of place should you book? A ryokan offers tatami mats, futon beds, and often a traditional kaiseki dinner. It's unforgettable, but not cheap. A machiya, a restored wooden townhouse, gives you privacy and history under one roof. And if you just need comfort after a long flight, a modern hotel near Kyoto Station will do the job perfectly. Book early, especially in spring and fall. Kyoto fills up fast, and the best places, they go first. Want to dive even deeper into Kyoto? We've created a free Kyoto travel guide packed with insider tips, hidden gems, and everything you need to plan your perfect trip. Simply scan the QR code on your screen to download it for free. And start exploring Kyoto like a local. How many days do you need in Kyoto? Kyoto is bigger than you think, and slower than you expect. A lot of travelers assume they can knock it out in a day or two. Hit the Golden Pavilion, walk through a bamboo forest, snap a photo at Fushimi Inari, and move on. But here's the truth. Rushing Kyoto is a recipe for stress. This isn't a city you check off, it's a city you feel, and feeling takes time. One day, only if you have no choice. You can see 𝐿𝐴𝐴, Fushimi Inari, and maybe stroll through Xi'an before sunset. But you'll be sprinting. You'll miss the quiet moments, the side streets, the stillness inside a temple garden that makes you forget what century you're in. One day is survival mode, not an experience. 2 days? The bare minimum. This is where most first-time visitors start to get it right. Spend day 1 in Arashiyama, bamboo groves, temples, the river. Day 2 in Higashiyama, Kiyomizu-dera, the winding lanes of Xi'an, maybe the evening glow of Osaka Shrine. It's balanced, it's doable, and it leaves you wanting more. 3 days? The sweet spot. Now you're not just seeing Kyoto, you're living in it. You have time for the philosopher's path. Nijo Castle, a slow breakfast before the crowds arrive. An evening walk with no agenda. This is when the city stops being a checklist and starts being a memory. 4 or 5 days? For the ones who get it, you dive deeper. Lesser-known temples, a tea ceremony, quiet neighborhoods tourists never reach, day trips to Nara or Uji. This is slow travel. This is photography at golden hour. This is Kyoto the way it deserves to be seen. So what's the real answer? Minimum, 2 days. Ideal, 3 days. If you have more time, take it. Kyoto has 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, thousands of temples, centuries of stories. You won't see it all, but with 3 days, you'll see enough to understand why people keep coming back. How bad are the crowds in Kyoto, and how to avoid them? Let's not sugarcoat it. Kyoto can be overwhelmingly crowded. At the wrong time, in the wrong place, it feels less like a cultural pilgrimage and more like standing in line at an amusement park. The Arashiyama Bamboo Grove at noon, a conga line of selfie sticks. Kiyomizu-dera between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. A madhouse. The main shopping street, Shijodori, during cherry blossom season, a literal nightmare. But here's the thing. The crowds are predictable, and if you're willing to adjust your rhythm, you can still find magic. When is it worst? Spring, late March through early April, is peak chaos. Cherry blossoms draw millions. The philosopher's path becomes a slow shuffle. Xi'an's narrow streets overflow. If you're coming during Sakura season, accept that you're sharing Kyoto with the world. Fall, November, brings the second wave. Autumn colors fill the temples, and so do the tourists. It's busy, but slightly more spread out than spring. Summer and winter? Much quieter. July has the Xi'an Matsuri Festival, but outside of that, the heat keeps crowds manageable. And winter, December through February, is the secret season. Empty temples, snow-dusted gardens, serenity. Here's how you beat the crowds. Wake up early. Not 9 a.m. Early, but sunrise early. Fushimi Inari, at 6 a.m., is peaceful, mystical, yours. The same spot at 11 a.m. is a traffic jam. The bamboo grove before 7:30 a.m. Quiet enough to hear the wind. After 10? Forget it. Walk farther. Most tourists stop at the first photo op. At Fushimi Inari, hike 30 minutes up the mountain and the crowds vanish. At the bamboo grove, slip into the Okochi Sanso garden next door. It costs a few dollars, so hardly anyone goes. Instant calm. Skip the top 10. Kyoto has thousands of temples. Not everyone needs to see the same 5. Find the quiet ones. They're just as beautiful, and you'll have them to yourself. The bottom line? Yes, Kyoto is crowded. But it doesn't have to ruin your trip. Timing, strategy, and a willingness to wake up before the world does, that's your edge. Must-see attractions in Kyoto, from iconic to unforgettable. Kyoto has over 2,000 temples, 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, bamboo groves, imperial palaces, ancient shrines, and streets that feel like stepping into another century. So where do you even start? Here's the truth. You can't see it all, but you can see the ones that matter. The ones that give you chills. take your breath away and make you understand why this city has been Japan's cultural heart for over 1,000 years. Fushimi Inari Taisha, the icon. Thousands of bright orange torii gates winding up a mountainside. This is the image everyone knows, and it's free, open 24/7, and absolutely worth it. But here's the move. Don't stop where the crowds do. Most tourists take their photos at the bottom and turn back. Keep walking. After 30 or 40 minutes, the path quiets down. You'll have the gates, the forest, and the view almost to yourself. Go at sunrise if you can, or late evening. The gates glow, the air is still, and suddenly, you're not just seeing Kyoto, you're in it. 𝐤𝐴𝐭, the Golden Pavilion. A temple covered in gold leaf, reflected perfectly in a glassy pond. It's small. The visit is quick, but the impact? Unforgettable. It gets packed, so arrive early, right when it opens if possible. You'll get your shot, take a slow lap through the gardens, and leave feeling like you just witnessed something from another world. Gion, where old Kyoto still lives. This is the historic district you picture when you think of Kyoto. Wooden tea houses, lantern-lit alleyways, and if you're lucky, a glimpse of a 𝐿𝐼𝐶 or geisha slipping between doorways at dusk. Don't rush it, wander, get lost, let the streets pull you in. Gion is best experienced slowly, especially in the early evening when the light turns golden and the crowds thin out. Kiyomizu-dera, the view that stops you cold. A massive wooden platform jutting out over the hillside, built without a single nail. From here, you look out over Kyoto, rooftops, trees, mountains in the distance. The walk up through the streets of Higashiyama, Ninanzaka, and Sanenzaka feels like traveling back in time. Yes, it's touristy, but it's also magic. Go early or late to avoid the worst of the crowds. Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, but do it right. The bamboo forest is famous for a reason. Tall green stalks swaying overhead, light filtering through like something out of a dream. But at midday, it's a parade of selfie sticks. Get there before 7:30 a.m. and it's serene. Or skip the crowds entirely and head to the Okochi Sanso Garden right next door. A peaceful hillside garden with tea, views, and hardly anyone around. While you're in Arashiyama, consider the Iwatayama Monkey Park. A steep 20-minute climb rewards you with wild monkeys and sweeping views of the city. Or visit Otaji Nenbutsuji, a quirky temple filled with 1,200 hand-carved stone statues, each with a different expression. It's charming, quiet, and wonderfully strange. Philosopher's Path, for slow mornings. A 2-mile stone walkway along a canal, shaded by cherry trees in spring and maples in fall. It connects several temples and feels more like a meditation than a tourist route. Walk it early. Bring a coffee. Let the city wake up around you. Nijo Castle, where shoguns ruled. This isn't just a beautiful building. It's a window into feudal Japan. The famous nightingale floors were designed to squeak with every step, alerting guards to intruders. The gardens are immaculate. And the history? Powerful. And if you have extra time, take a short train ride to Uji, Kyoto's matcha capital. Visit Byodo-in Temple, sip the best green tea of your life, and enjoy a quieter, slower version of Kyoto just 20 minutes away. Here's the bottom line. If you only have time for the essentials, hit these 5. Fushimi Inari, Kinkakuji, Gion, Kiyomizu-dera, and Arashiyama. That's your Kyoto foundation. But if you have more days, keep exploring. Wander the Kamo River. Discover lesser-known temples. Let yourself get beautifully, blissfully lost. One last thing, and this is critical. Many of Kyoto's top attractions require advance tickets, especially during cherry blossom and fall foliage season. Show up without a reservation, and you might be turned away, or stuck in a line that eats half your day. Don't risk it. Scan the QR codes on screen right now to book your tickets in advance through Get Your Guide or Viator, two of the most trusted platforms for travelers. Lock in your spots, skip the stress, and show up ready to experience Kyoto the way it deserves. Kyoto Public Transportation Guide, IC Card, Day Pass, or JR Pass. Kyoto's public transportation is different from Tokyo. There are only 2 metro lines. Most of the city runs on buses, and you'll be walking more than you think. Here's how it works. Buses connect almost everything, frequent, cheap, covering all the major sites, but they're slow during rush hour and can get packed. 2 metro lines run north-south and east-west. They're clean and efficient, but they don't go everywhere. Trains, JR, and private lines like 𝐿𝐴HAN are great for day trips to Osaka, Nara, or Uji, but within Kyoto, limited use. So what should you buy? An IC card. This is the winner. 𝐿𝐴HAN, Suica, or Pasmo. Rechargeable smart cards that work on buses, metro, trains, and even in convenience stores. Tap in, tap out. No tickets, no confusion. For 90% of travelers, this is the best choice. Pick one up at the airport or Kyoto station, load $20 to $30, and you're set. Day passes? Rarely worth it. The bus day pass gives unlimited rides for one day, but buses are slow and crowded. Unless you're doing 4 or 5 trips, you won't save money. The subway day pass only works on metro, which has limited coverage. An IC card is almost always better. The JR Pass. Great for travel to Kyoto. Not in Kyoto. If you're doing Tokyo to Kyoto to Hiroshima, the JR Pass saves you hundreds on the Shinkansen. But inside Kyoto, it doesn't cover city buses or most metro lines. You'll still need an IC card. A few tips. Google Maps works brilliantly. Shows you which bus, which platform, how long. Trust it. Avoid buses during rush hour. The metro is faster when it's an option. And taxis are surprisingly affordable, especially with luggage or in a group, sometimes worth skipping the crowded bus. The verdict? Get an IC card. Use it for everything. Add a JR Pass if you're traveling beyond Kyoto. Skip the day passes. Kyoto rewards flexibility, and an IC card gives you exactly that. Best day trips from Kyoto. Where to go, and what's worth it. Kyoto sits right in the heart of the Kansai region. Some of Japan's most iconic destinations are less than an hour away. The question isn't whether you can do day trips, it's which ones are actually worth your time. Here's the truth. Kyoto itself has more than enough to fill your days. But if you have 3 or more days in the city, adding a day trip can give you contrast, depth, and experiences you won't find anywhere else. Nara, the most popular, and for good reason. 45 minutes by train, and you're surrounded by hundreds of free-roaming deer in Nara Park. They bow, they beg, and if you're holding deer crackers, they will headbutt you until you hand them over. But the real reason to visit is Todaiji Temple, one of the largest wooden structures in the world, housing a nearly 50-foot bronze Buddha. Nara is compact. You can see the highlights in half a day. It's the best first-day trip from Kyoto. Osaka for food, energy, and neon lights. 30 minutes away, and suddenly, you're in a completely different version of Japan. Neon signs, mechanical crabs, street food everywhere. Takoyaki, kushikatsu. Tonkatsu so good it might ruin pork cutlets everywhere else. If Kyoto is the soul of Japan, Osaka is the heartbeat. Uji for tea lovers and a slower pace. Just 20 minutes south, Uji is Japan's matcha capital. Visit Byodo-in Temple, sip the best green tea of your life, and wander quiet tea shop-lined streets. It's the perfect half-day escape. Himeji, Japan's most stunning castle. About an hour by Shinkansen, Himeji Castle is the real deal, an original feudal castle. Never destroyed, never rebuilt. White walls, elegant curves, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. For history lovers, it's worth every minute. Hiroshima. Powerful, emotional, unforgettable. 2 hours by Shinkansen, a full day, but one you won't forget. The Peace Memorial Museum and Atomic Bomb Dome are somber reminders of destruction and resilience. And if you have time, take the ferry to Miyajima Island, home to the famous floating torii gate. Combine them, and you've got one of the most meaningful day trips in Japan. But here's the thing. Day trips are additions, not replacements. Don't skip Kyoto itself. If you only have 2 days total, stay in Kyoto. If you have 3 or more, add 1 day trip every 2 or 3 days. One last piece of advice. Consider booking a guided tour in advance, especially for Nara, Hiroshima, or Miyajima. Guides give you context, get you to the right spots at the right times, and make sure you don't miss what matters most. Scan the QR codes on screen now to book guided day trips through Get Your Guide or Viator. Lock in your spots, show up ready, and let someone who knows these places make sure you see them the right way. Is Kyoto expensive? And should you bring cash or use credit cards? Kyoto isn't cheap, but it's also not outrageously expensive, especially compared to cities like Tokyo, London, or Paris. The truth? You decide how much you spend. Here's what a day in Kyoto actually costs. Budget travel, around $70 to $100 a day. That gets you a clean business hotel, ramen or street food, temple entries, and public transit. Mid-range, $120 to $180. Better hotels, sit-down dinners at 𝐲𝐴𝐻, maybe a nicer ryokan experience. Luxury, $250 and up. Traditional kaiseki dinners, upscale ryokans, private transport. The sky's the limit. Most travelers land somewhere in the middle, and that's more than enough to experience Kyoto beautifully. Now here's the money question: cash or credit card? The answer is both, but mostly cash. Japan, and Kyoto especially, is still heavily cash-based. Credit cards work at hotels, department stores, and major restaurants. But at small cafes, local ramen shops, temples, street vendors, and the Nishiki market, cash only. Buses don't take cards, most taxis don't either, and good luck buying temple admission or street food with anything but yen. So, here's the move. Carry around $100 to $200 in cash at all times. Use ATMs at 7-Eleven or post offices. They accept foreign cards and are everywhere. Pay for your hotel with a card. Everything else? Cash. And here's a bonus tip. Get an IC card like 𝐿𝐴𝐻 or Suica. You load it with cash and use it for trains, buses, convenience stores, even vending machines. It's not a replacement for cash, but it smooths out your daily spending. Oh, and one more thing. Tipping isn't a thing in Japan. The price is the price. No mental math, no awkward envelopes. Just pay and go. Bottom line, Kyoto is as expensive as you make it. Eat smart, stay strategic, and carry cash. Do that, and you'll experience the city without stress or an empty wallet. What not to do in Kyoto. Cultural rules. Every traveler should follow. Kyoto is Japan's cultural heart, and with that comes expectations. The good news? You don't need to be an etiquette expert. A little awareness and respect go a long way. But there are a few rules you absolutely need to know. Because breaking them doesn't just make you look bad. It affects the locals who live here. First, be quiet. Japan values calm. Speak softly on trains, buses, and even walking down the street. No loud phone calls, no FaceTiming in public. Silence is respect. And in Kyoto especially, that matters. Second, bow. Don't shake hands. A small bow when greeting someone or saying thank you is the way to go. No hugs, no handshakes unless someone offers first. Just a polite nod and a smile. At temples and shrines, this is sacred space. Bow slightly when entering through a torii gate. Follow the paths. Stay quiet in prayer areas. Don't eat. Don't use selfie sticks. And don't treat it like a playground. You're a guest in a spiritual place. Act like it. Photography, especially in 𝐲𝐿. Do not take photos of geisha or 𝐿𝐲𝐽 without permission. They're not attractions. They're professionals on their way to work. Following them, blocking their path, or shoving a camera in their face, that's not just rude. In some streets, it can get you fined. If you see a no photography sign, respect it. Always. Shoes off indoors. Temples, ryokans, some restaurants, you'll be asked to remove your shoes, use the slippers provided, and never step on tatami mats with outdoor shoes or slippers. It's a sign of disrespect. Food etiquette. Don't walk and eat, especially at places like Nishiki Market where it's actually banned. But never stick your chopsticks upright in rice, and never pass food chopstick to chopstick. Both gestures are tied to funeral rituals. Bottom line, Kyoto doesn't expect perfection, but it does expect respect. Watch how locals behave, follow their lead, and when in doubt, just be quiet, polite, and aware. Do that, and you'll not only avoid mistakes, you'll earn smiles, kindness, and a deeper connection to this incredible city. Want to discover even more of Kyoto? Check out these other videos for more hidden gems, travel tips, and unforgettable places in Japan's ancient capital. And don't forget to follow our channel for more inspiring city trips around the world.